Hello and welcome to JillSandConsulting. Another episode here of talking about life and spirit and whatever moves us, right? So in this particular topic, we're thinking about the news of today. I'm calling this episode Good News Headline. And then you might say, what? Good news? Where is the good news? Well, the good news is in that everything that we're seeing on the headlines today are starting to wake people up. And people are waking up in America. People are waking up across the world. We're noticing the deceptions of our leaders and people who we thought were responsible and helping us in our communities, and we're realizing that there might be ulterior motives from them in personal growth and gain as opposed to the gain and personal growth of all people. And so we're also noticing the deceptions of businesses who are saying that they're going to bring prices down for us at the cost of losing jobs, and we know that that does not help our economy. So there's lots of deceptions going on, lots of lies being told, lots of secrets being kept from us, lots of hidden truths. And so we want to take ourselves and become beyond that. It's really easy to get caught up in the anger and the fear and the frustration of our world today. And so we as spiritual beings have to find a way to be aware but move ourselves past those fears and anxiety. And so we take a look at what really is going on here. We can step away from the year 2011 and look at a lifetime of our country, and then look at the lifetime of society, and then look at the lifetime of the world, look at the lifetime of many different existing worlds. If we have that belief system, then we can see that this is just a part of our evolution, but it's an important part. We choose to be here during this time because there's the need for some of us to be pushing people towards being awake. And so whether our role is to be activists in politics, which gets us caught up in the fear and the anger and the frustration, or whether our role is to be spiritual guiders for other people who are caught up, whatever our role is, we want to make sure that we are moving us towards that awareness that leads us away from what we currently see. So a lot of people talk about this time being the end of time. Some people talk about this time being the beginning of times, and what that all means. And my recommendation is you don't have to start selling your personal belongings. All you need to do is be a good person. And I come back to that theme all the time. And so we look for people being good in our society. We look for people doing the right thing as our leaders. And we have to be real thorough about investigating what people are doing. We want to make sure that indeed things are good and things are on the up and up, because a lot of people tell us they're doing things for the good, and then we later discover that they're doing things for the good of themselves and maybe not the rest of us. So those are important facts that we have to take a look at and discern between. Is this for the good of everybody, or is this for the good of one or just a few certain individuals? That's important during these times. The other thing that we need to take a look at is not getting caught up in the fear. The opposite of fear is love. And so what we need to start doing is reminding ourselves to bring love into situations. So rather than taking one political side or the other side, which most of us like to do, including myself, we want to take a step back and say, where do we bring love into this picture? Where do we bring compromise and negotiation into this picture? We can't be caught up in one side or the other side. We have to step back from that and be an observer of that, finding that place where we can bring love and compassion to the situation. So how do we do that? What do we do? Well, many people, there's many prayer uh, groups being led right now, and that's great. That's wonderful. We need prayer in this world right now. There are many people that are leading meditations. We need to be listening to our guides and finding out what we can do on our personal level. We can get the word out. We can talk about it. This is my goal right here, is just coming on a video blog once in a while and speaking about what my thoughts are and sharing that. And some people will agree and some people won't agree, and that's okay. That's what blogs are, right? We find some commonalities and we find differences, and we just respect those. So just bringing love and compassion to these situations. So when I'm hearing really doom and gloom stories, I want to turn that around and say, but look at these examples of where there's good things going on. We have to remind ourselves that there's good things going on. It's much better to be living in our world today where we actually have access to information than in the past. So we don't want to hang on to the past and say those were the good old days. Instead, we want to take a look and say, we have opportunities today we didn't have in the past. So how are we going to use those opportunities to move ourselves forward? Being educated is one way. Being prayerful and in spirit is another way. And in the end, I think we need to take a look at that prayerful spiritual piece, because I think that's where our change is going to come about. And so just finding that way to connect with our core being, who we are in our hearts, who we are in our relationship with our belief system. That's going to be helpful for us as we move through these times and work with these frustrations and anger and so on. And a great way to do that is to start to immerse ourselves in the earth. Go back to the earth, start finding our attention in the earth. Connect to the earth. I'm outside. I've been doing my vlogs outside just because even though it's warm, I want to be outside and be a part of this, because I want to connect to the earth, because that's what we're really about. We are part of the earth, and we're not a part of technology. Technology is built around who we are. Technology is just as deceptive as anything. And so we want to just remind ourselves to be part of the earth, feel our connection to the earth and to each other and to the animals. And if we can do that, if we can maintain that connection with one another, we can start to build those feelings of love and compassion. If we separate ourselves from one another and from the earth and from the animals, then we're going to start to separate ourselves from that love and compassion. So that's my message for you today, just finding that place of love and compassion. Have a very good day, and I'll see you next time with Jill Sand Consulting.